Hello, hello. Hidden Hermit here. Okay, so here's three of swords, and as three of swords go, this is particularly bananas. This is the three of swords from the She-Wolf Tarot, and at first glance you may think, well, what the hell's going on here? But once you dig a little deeper, I think it's an excellent interpretation, and a superb take on the Three of Swords. Really does match up with my interpretation of it, and I love it. To put it quite simply, I think it's brilliant. So yes, Three of Swords from the She-Wolf Tarot. She-Wolf Tarot for me is it's kind of like a little box of psychotherapy, which I have learnt to really appreciate. Really appreciate. Now, there's nothing in this card to suggest that there are any hearts or indeed any swords on display. Really does dive into what the Three of Swords, I think, properly means. But first of all, let's have a look at some of the visual things that are going on in here. The She-Wolf Tarot does have a lot of naked ladies, and there is a naked lady. She's in this very strange, bizarre, transparent box, which has got a mirrored bottom. And she's almost looking down to it as well, so she's kind of sort of seeing it. The desert is also another piece of scenery that pops up in the She-Wolf a lot. Deserts are, of course, quite, well, not devoid of life, but there's a lot less life there. And the scene here is prevalent. It takes up almost half the card. It's quite oppressive in many ways. The black and white is also an artistic motif that turns up a lot in the She-Wolf. That's just to sort of symbolise the shadow and light sides of all the cards. In the background, you've got Venus. Venus is, of course, the ruling planet of Libra. And you have this black obsidian, and I know it's obsidian because that's what the book says, but you have this black obsidian pyramid on top of the transparent box. I like to think that the obsidian is Saturn. There you go, there's a nice little bit of obsidian right there for you. Not quite so equally shaped, but there you go. So yes, you have that Saturn in Libra depicted perfectly. But when you think about this card, what is actually going on? So yeah, this woman is boxed in by this transparent box, and you can see her. She's not hidden from view. So whatever she's feeling, and it could very well be sorrow, it's all to see, and it's been mirrored back at her as well. So it's kind of amplified. The realization that she's come to because we are in the suit of swords. Is being reflected back at her, so she can't escape it in many ways. The key words or the key vibes in the book for the She-Wolf says sadness, which I think we can all agree on with any Three of Swords. Isolation due to intellect, which I think is brilliant, because we are again in the suit of swords, so you're thinking about mind, logic, reason, and perfectly it suggests painful realization, and I think that's exactly how I feel about it. The Three of Swords, it's that idea that your mind has realized something. That's what brings the sorrow and the sadness. For me, this is probably my favourite Three of Swords, absolutely, visually, and the way it means about it, what it means. I can't think of a better example of it. Just to divert back to the obsidian pyramid as well. Obsidian is known to be a material that can soak up negative energies, and but it can also not only just hold on to them but reflect them as well. So it's almost like a protective barrier for her. But the fact that it's there, the fact that its presence is it's quite weighty, it's quite a grounded material, it's heavy, if you like. So I believe that this is also symbolic of that idea of the realization of the idea that's come forth. You understand it and you're dealing with it, basically. The shadow side of the Three of Swords and the She-Wolf, it's very similar in vibe to the light side, but it does tell us that perhaps you're not facing up to these realizations. You're trying to deny them in a certain way, and that is not healthy. I could probably talk for much longer about this card, and indeed about the Three of Swords, but I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna simply leave you with the mantra. Every card in the She-Wolf comes with a mantra, and the mantra for the Three of Swords is: disillusionment is painful, but worse is never knowing the truth. You know, you could argue with that. You know, sometimes, you know, ignorance is bliss, but this is tarot. This is, you know, meant to be bringing these things to the surface and dealing with them. So it's a good mantra to meditate on. Disillusionment is painful, but worse is never knowing the truth. So that's the Three of Swords from the She-Wolf Tarot. And a box just fell off my table. But thanks very much for watching.